I'm Kerry-Anne Mendoza. I'm co-founder and editor-in-chief of the Canary, which is an online media outlet in the UK, which also has a global section which reports around the world. The Canary actually started as a conversation at a party. I'd been writing at Script Tonight Daily for about 5 years, four or 5 years by that point, and bemoaning the state of the UK media and why can't we do something? And then a close friend of mine said, well, why don't we? We set up for significantly less than £1,000. We had no external investment, no external shareholders, no government grant, no philanthropist. We'd only been running about 2 months, and there was a whole page in the Telegraph saying, "The Canary is the maddest left-wing website in the world." And we were kind of like, if we're anything in the world at 2 months, we'll just take it. that was fantastic. And it's only gone up. And, by the time we got to our first birthday, we'd managed to reach 14 million people. For me, the whole point of this is actually democracy. It's reaching the underserved, underread, undereducated people in this country. They have views on economics, they have views on politics, and they're not engaged. In fact, the only people that are speaking to them are The Sun, The Express, The Daily Star. And so we deliberately set out to actually have headlines that anyone could understand, and then, without simplifying the ideas, simplifying the language that we use to describe that within the article itself. We were actually really astonished in our first kind of 2 to 3 months, noticing how many UKIP supporters were reading us. I mean, you will never find any bigoted, racist, anti-immigrant content on our site ever. Like, we publish vigorous arguments against that sort of scapegoating mentality. Really, you're right to be pissed off. Like, you're not imagining being screwed over. You actually are being fundamentally screwed over. People are being disenfranchised. You've got a banker, a migrant, and a teacher sitting at a table, and on the table there's a plate full of it's got 10 biscuits on it. And while the teacher and the immigrant are busy having a conversation, the banker nicks 9 of the biscuits and shoves them in his pocket, a couple in his mouth. Then when the immigrant and the teacher turn around, he just leans over to the teacher and says, "Watch out, that immigrant's trying to steal your biscuit." And I see our role as very much whispering in the other ear of that teacher. I would really like to see us develop our business model further so that people have, a guaranteed minimum income per month that they can rely on, and everything else is a lovely treat and a reward for, going above and beyond. We encourage all of our writers to become members of the National Union of Journalists. We actually want them to feel like they have a powerful say, not only in their pay and terms and conditions, but in the direction that the Canary takes. And the way that the writers actually kind of collaborate with each other on stories is absolutely extraordinary. There's none of this kind of me, hogging of the stories. If a story's pitched by a writer and someone else has been working behind the scenes on something, they'll hand over their research, and say, "Please take this, I just want your story to be better." If I could change one thing about the way the media operates in this country at the moment, it would be around diversity. You've got essentially senior journalists' income and executive income being bankrolled off the back of unpaid interns, and that really prejudices against a whole class of people. What we need in our media is to rapidly expand it, to have a diversity of voices, to have a diversity of editorial opinion and line. And that was why one of our metrics of success was actually if in 2 or 3 years' time, not only is the Canary itself thriving, but we've generated 50 other Canaries. So I think it's a really exciting time for new media.